today. From Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Buffalo Bills taking on the Houston Texans.
Autumn has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves at Bills Stadium in Orchard Park. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should. And what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led by their ninth-year quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. So here come the Bills with excellent field position to get things started. They'll be led by the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year for 2020 in his second season, former Oregon Duck, Justin Herbert.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Herbert now. And incomplete on the deep ball. And his kick is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And they needed to be because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first two possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Going up top for Cup. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Kevin Farley. And the Texans are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. On 1st down, Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Mostert. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Smith now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The former star at the University of Buffalo, Khalil Mack, in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going up top for Cup. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kevin Farley. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still try to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. If this were hindsight as 2020 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the 38, Smith. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Second down, here's Mostert again. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
From the gun, here's Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. And this one, a 41-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Herbert. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game. And now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
On first down, it's Herbert. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup there. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Gets past one man. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead. So how about that for your first carry of the game? Not bad.
How about that, and not bad at all. I think he earned himself a little bit more work, partner, because that's what you want from your number 2 or your number 3 running backs. You want him to come in with the fresh legs, give your team a little jolt, and he did it right there. Best way to lobby for more playing time? Have runs like that.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, They don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Geno. He's got it to Hilton. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Houston. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bills to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Herbert on 1st down now. And that is incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Herbert. And he rifles one incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Herbert. Swinging this out for Pollard. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the 1st down. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
The Bills send the punter out. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Houston set to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Smith. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
One of the better defensive linemen in the league, can be absolutely dominant at times. Chris Jones has been a Pro Bowler each of the last 2 years. In 2020, just 7.5 sacks. But he did have a career high of 15.5 just 3 seasons ago in 2018. He and Frank Clark provide excellent pressure against opposing quarterbacks.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taken right around the 44. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Give the tackle that time to Jordan Whitehead. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Herbert off the bootleg. He hits Adams complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Play action. It's Herbert. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run left with Pollard. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
The Bills on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this one is right through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The Texans on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Cameron Jordan so tough to block as he gets in there to record the sack.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Herbert off of play action. And that one almost intercepted. Boy, he's got 2 already, nearly a 3rd, but not to be, and it's 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. We look now at Geno Smith. He's the focus of our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Take it at the 37. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Buffalo set to get the football back here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And he'll find Hall. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. A shotgun snag for Herbert, and that one going to be off target and incomplete. The Bills on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3, trying to run for it with Pollard. Ooh, with a juke. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. A line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Samson Abukum in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. And his kick here is good. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Smith. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
The Texans on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Geno getting this out to the flat. Mostert. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Houston. This is brought in at the 21. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bills getting set to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 2nd and 7. Herbert. And he's got his man on the out route. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On first down, Justin Herbert. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's brought down.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
To the air again, Herbert. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. Going up top for Kupp. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And that is incomplete. The Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Now Gino on first down. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On third down, here comes Mostert. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense now for one final time in this first half. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. Here's Herbert. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will swell the lead to 16. So as it turns out, a 2-play drive resulting in the field goal. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. Looking deep for Hilton. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin down in South Florida, Indianapolis in town to take on Miami. And it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. Robbie Anderson with 3 touchdown receptions. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a touchdown reception. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And as you see, they are currently all tied up with the visiting Washington football team. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports? And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Off the play fake. Herbert. That's caught left side to tight end Pitts.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
On the return is Cohen. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
A good gain on first. Has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Credit the sack to Von Miller. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Back to throw. Smith. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 3rd down, Herbert. Open man right side is Cup, complete. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Bills send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. Here comes Cohen. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. Houston's offense taking over again and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's a toss play right to Mostert. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Out of the gun, Smith. hit as he throws there, incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Smith.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Bills are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, this defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
They'll run on first down. It's Hall, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hall, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Third and 2, Herbert. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field. And a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory. Down at the 33. Herbert now. Throw left side, complete to Cup. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. From the 31, Herbert. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
That's complete to Robinson.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 14. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Out of the gun, Herbert. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They snap it to Herbert, fighting to stay upright. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing.
The football going back over now to the Houston Texans.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line.
T.J. Edwards.
Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. A shotgun snap for Smith. And he goes down, and it's in the end zone. Smith goes down in that end zone. That is a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. That's taken on the 25. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On first down, Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. From the 38, Herbert. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, and it's fourth down.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Smith. And a dump off to White. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans on third down. The struggle has been real. They have had ample opportunities. They've yet to cash one in. This will be 3rd and 6.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. The Bills going to take over again on offense. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hall. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Yeah, he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Here's Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Yeah, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. To throw again on 2nd down. Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Now Smith. Throw left side complete. That's McKenzie. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off the bootleg. Herbert. And Woods has it complete. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. Johnson. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, Most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
Following a touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
And now out comes Houston.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss.
Smith on first down. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well, and that would appear to be a face mask.
Defense. So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
To the air again, Smith. Going for it all. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Marcus Johnson, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he puts this one through. It makes our score 31-10. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Houston touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hall, and he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he stopped immediately there. There to make the tackle, Samson Abukum.
Here's Johnson again on 2nd down.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Herbert on third down now. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles, at the start of the game. Passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for him.
On 2nd and 10, Smith, his throw incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Smith.
And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over.
They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt.
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll try and run down some clock with Johnson. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go to Johnson again. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down.
They'll check this down to Johnson.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. From the 39, Smith completing it to the right side, Johnson. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. On 1st and 10, Smith. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. One last throw here for Smith. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. It'd take a lot to try and even it up. I just thought 2 words for this ball game: methodical and predictable, and both of them came together.
So for the Bills, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin.